he won't be in a hurry to call that pitch because that's a very tough pitch to catch.
And he's wearing a regular catcher's glove. And there is Jeff and Curtis Granderson, who has had an outstanding series. 5 for 8 with 3 home runs, 2 in the opener, 1 last night. So Matt brings the next pitch. It is high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Matt was born in Memphis, San Francisco's 31st round pick in 2002 out of Southwest Missouri State. Up the middle, base hit, and Granderson with his 6th hit of this series.
Starting to get on fire. I mean, 3 home runs in a couple games, that's pretty impressive, but he really wants to get on base and cause some havoc. He's a good base runner, good base stealer. Typical type leadoff man with power.
And the Angels will need some length from Matt Palmer because their starting pitcher only went 5 innings last night. They do have a number of guys in that pen, but they're trying to sort through the troubling times. Here's Polanco. He bats from the right side. Tigers finished last night's game against the Angels with 18 hits, marking the team's 2nd highest total at the Big A. Way up high, and the runner is going, and Curtis Granderson will steal second base easily.
Yeah, great jump. Hard to get this guy, or any leadoff hitter for that matter, with a jump like that. Little peek back just to see what the hitter did. Throw was up the line a little bit. Second bag of the year for Granderson.
This Tiger team was 9 for 15 with runners in scoring position last night. Here's Polanco.
Okay, now Polanco, he knows exactly what to do. The situation calls for him to move the runner. See if Matt Palmer can get that ball down. He's had a few that are up in the zone here lately. Polanco, pretty good hitter. Tied for 5th in the league with doubles. He's got 6.
And he's really been wild to start this one. A 3-0 count. That's been his challenge in the past. Has a good arm. Ball really has a lot of life to it. But controlling it and throwing a strike where he wants to has been a challenge. And Mike Butcher really thinks he has a fine arm. Has hit the fastball in the low 90s with great movement. Curve, slider, change.
Hoping he's on tonight, though.
Misses low, and Polanco walks on 4 pitches, so Detroit has 2 on with nobody out to start this ball game. Matt only made 2 starts and had an ERA over 11 at Salt Lake City. But Scioscia really liked the fact that he had major league experience and the fact that his stuff picked up in his last start. He had a 4.91 ERA in spring training. Trouble. Maglio Ordonez.
Yep, the guy who utilizes the whole field, goes line to line.
Starts him off with a curveball for strike 1.
Yeah, he's a .438 hitter with runners in scoring position early in the season. That's what this calls for. Tough to pitch to. Selective. And likes to hit at Angel Stadium. That average here, .368 in his lifetime here at Angel Stadium.
Just barely missing inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt wants to keep it down, maybe get out of further trouble with a double play. The Angels, Figgins at third, Asturias short, Kendrick second, Morales first. And Howie cheating a little bit towards that second base bag with the righty at the plate.
Making sure that Granderson doesn't get too far off. It looks like his curveball. He's able to command for strikes early.
Well, he does have the ability to strike batters out. He averaged 1 strikeout per inning last year at AAA, and he led the PCL in strikeouts, 143 in 142 innings. He was with Fresno, and the Giants organization now still in the PCL at Salt Lake and called up. Just inside, 2-2.
He's trying to keep the ball in on Maglio, tie him up a little bit. Don't want anything left out over the plate for Maglio to inside out. Matthews in center field playing him straight up.
Counts full 3-2.
Palmer's got to be battling a little bit of nerves, even though he's pitched some in the big leagues last year with the Giants. His debut with the Angels, he understands the situation here, so he might be a little tight in his first inning, but most guys are, no matter how much experience they have. It's that first inning. Could be a tester.
And trouble on deck, and Miguel Cabrera having an outstanding start this year. So he's got to really go after Ordonez, particularly with runners in first and second. But this entire Detroit lineup has been very hot. They've been averaging 6 runs per game. That ball sliced foul out of play. It'll stay at 3-2. They're hitting .293 as a team. 4th in the American League in runs scored, 6 per game, and .370 on base percentage is number 2 for Jim Leyland. And now they're pitching, getting better defense, and consequently in first place in the American League Central.
Okay, with nobody out, Leland's moving the runners to stay out of a possible double play. Maglio's hit into 3 this year. You wonder if Mathis is going to try to throw and get Polanco, the trail runner.
Well, he was on that pitch and spun it back to the screen. Maybe he could get a line out and turn 3.
That could happen with the runners leaving. Hey, it's pretty rare, but wouldn't that be a beautiful thing for Palmer?
Next pitch will be the 8th from Palmer to Ordonez. Again, trying to keep Granderson close. They have gone in the last 2 pitches. Angels at 5-9. They're 4 games back of Seattle. Mariners won today, 1-0. Felix Hernandez with the victory, and Ichiro with a first inning home run. That was it. Runners go. Pitch is swung on. Chopped towards Izturis. Only play is first base. Will get Ordonez, but everybody else moves up.
Okay, that's why Leland's running these guys 3-2. If Matt Palmer, gets his sinker working pretty good. You hope or Polanco's okay. That hard slide into the bag. That bag's stationary. It doesn't move. But he was safe. He's got a smile on his face. I guess he's all right. All right, let's see how he goes in there. Ooh, yeah. It wasn't on the base, it was before the base. His foot kind of got stuck in the dirt there. Got to make sure those spikes are up. Good way to twist an ankle.
Now Miguel Cabrera, runners on second and third. He goes after the first pitch. Strike 1. Cabrera leads the American League in batting, 444. Kevin Youkilis of Boston is in second place at 429. Already has 24 hits. Big strong guy out of Venezuela. Chops it towards third. It is rolling, and Figgins picks it up and throws it down the line. Everybody's going to be safe, and that'll be an infield hit and an RBI for Cabrera. We have seen a number of those by Detroit in this game.
Yes, and Figgins, he could tell by the second bounce of that ball that it wasn't going to kick foul, so he went ahead and elected to try to throw him out. And Cabrera doesn't have the greatest speed, but Sean Figgins, he read that, figured it wasn't going to go foul, and tried. Morales vacates the position and makes a good pick, or else Polanco would have scored.
1-0 Detroit. Tigers scored 2 last night in the first and 1 in the first in game 1, so they have scored in the first all 3 innings off the Angels starting pitchers. Jared Weaver on Tuesday, Joe Saunders last night, and now Matt Palmer. Ground ball short as Izturis has it. 1 and 2, and they turn back any more runs from the Tigers. Here's the Angels batting order. Sean Figgins, Meiser Izturis, Bobby Abreu, and Torrey Hunter. His second start as the DH. 8-9 game hitting streak this year at 429. And you've got Kendry Morales, Juan Rivera, Gary Matthews Jr., Howie Kendrick, and Jeff Mathis. The pitcher is Edwin Jackson, 25-year-old right-hander out of Columbus, Georgia.
Okay, Edwin, he can bring it up there, mid to upper 90s. Good, strong fastball. Got a nice slider. That's above average pitch for him. So fastball, slider probably early. He'll show a curve and a changeup. Both of those are average, but this guy, his arm is not. He can really let it loose. Looks to get ahead with that heater.
Figgins to left field. Josh Anderson, 1 out.
Defending behind Edwin Jackson in game 3 of this 3-game series. Final game, Josh Anderson, speedy left fielder in there. All right, Adam Everett, Polanco, good guys up the middle. Inge, solid third baseman. Cabrera would first. Matt Trainer, that's right, he's getting a start here in this final game to catch Edwin Jackson. Nice catch and throw guy.
Meiser Izturis has had a good series, 5 for 9. That was after a rough road trip. Just was 1 for 14, but feeling more and more comfortable at the plate. Had some back problems during spring training. This is a guy who plays a lot year round. He played 28 games in winter ball in Venezuela this year. Said his team was not that good this winter, but he likes to keep himself fresh. Edwin Jackson, 6th round pick, 2001, out of Shaw High School in Georgia. Fouled off.
Okay, and then where he rarely pitched, he was mainly a position player. Okay, and then they drafted him. He went out of high school, and they put him on the mound. And you know, the Dodgers proclaimed him to be the next great starter. But you know, he didn't know anything about pitching. He went out there and just used his arm for a few years, and now he's evolving into a quality pitcher because of experience.
The Dodgers, when they drafted him, were unsure at that time whether he'd be a pitcher or an outfielder. He did both his first year, and finally became a full-time pitcher in 2002. Tore up the Southern League, striking out 157 and being named the Dodgers Minor League Player of the Year, Pitcher of the Year.
His opening day age is 25, and he already is in his 4th season in the big leagues. That's pretty good. This kid, he's learning as he goes along. I had a nice, lengthy conversation with the young man yesterday. Quite impressed with him.
Izturis to second base. Polanco has it. 2 outs.
He told me that he's becoming his own pitching coach. And, you know, you hear guys say that usually in their, you know, later 20s when they get a little more experience. But this kid has learned a lot as a young pitcher. And he says that he's able to make some adjustments. Now, this being his 3rd team, I asked him if it bothered him that he changed teams. He says, no, that's a plus. I know my own ability. I'm confident in myself. So it's not like I need my, you know, my daddy, my team who drafted me, the Dodgers. You know, he doesn't feel like he's missing a part of him by leaving his original organization, and he's able to meet more people.
Well, he's really had a great start to this year. 2.14 ERA after 3 games. His last start beat Seattle, allowing no runs in 7 2/3 innings. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. And his fastball was reaching the mid to upper 90s. Bobby Abreu, good start, hitting .370. That is tied for 9th in the American League.
20 hits already.
And it glances off Brandon Inge. Inge will not make the play at third base, and Brandon Inge, who has had a marvelous defensive series, will likely get an error on this play.
Well, we never know what the official score is gonna give. But that's a play that Inge will tell you that he should have made. And the fact that I just heard them give Bobby Abreu a base hit, that's good for Bobby, but poor officiating. I'm sorry.
It was right at Brandon Inge. But Bobby Abreu getting a base hit. Torrey Hunter, the batter. Hunter, the DH tonight. And Abreu, a good base runner, 7 for 7 stealing bases.
Bobby Abreu's smiling. They gave him a hit. Kim and Cabrera are laughing about that right now. I'm telling you.
You've been over there, I know.
I'm just telling you from a player's standpoint. Abreu, he's peeking in as the catcher trainer, though. That's a little move that base runners will do. They'll get not their initial, the big lead. They'll get just halfway, and they'll kind of peek out of the corner of their eye and see if they see any more than one finger. Any more than one finger means it could be a breaking ball, and it gives us the base stealer more time to get the bag.
Jackson has a very good slider. Working with Matt Trainer tonight. Gerald Laird was the catcher the first 2 games of this series. Looked like Torrey wanted to pull the trigger, decided not to. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hunter busted a game 1 home run that tied the game at 3, and then Gary Matthews Jr. had the big hit that won it. Halos 4, Tigers 3. Last night Halos lost 12-10, even though they led by 2 in the 7th inning. Not given that inside corner right now. Torrey has been hitting that inside fastball a long way. He has 5 home runs. The Angels as a team only have 10 home runs, so you've got one guy with half of the big flies.
It's all right. Just keep pouring them on. Bobby Abreu, he sits with Sean Figgins alone in the American League with stolen bases. It was 7.
Kinsler had one the other day and joined that 3-way tie for first in the American League. Bobby diving back.
Now those 2 guys, they're fellow countrymen there. They have a good time. Now, when you play against your own buddies, you really turn up the competition.
And as a matter of fact, they're from the same hometown, Maracay. Abreu's going. The throw to second. Not in time. Steal number 8. That's your American League leader. He may like Mike Scioscia's style because he loves to run.
Sure he does. And he gets a good takeoff. Throw is high. Tag on the shoulder. Not in time.
They made a scoring change. They've ruled it an error 5 instead of a base hit.
Okay. That'll work.
So Brandon Inge gets his 4th error of the year. And a breaking ball that is knocked over the Angels dugout. Count stays full, 3-2. If Hunter gets on, the switch hitting Kendry Morales, who had the big game yesterday, is waiting in that on deck circle. He blasted a 3-run home run in the first inning on the 9th pitch of an at bat against Justin Verlander. That man hung a curve and Kendry just barely cleared the wall.
So far, the Angels' offensive plan has worked pretty good. That high fastball worked good too. Got Torrey hacking.
And Hunter strikes out. California Ford dealers and the new Ford Advantage plan. And by Jack in the Box. Right now, try the mini sirloin burgers. There are 3 delicious burgers on toasted mini buns. Back at the Big A, we head to the second inning. 1-0 Tigers. They scored on an infield hit by Miguel Cabrera, facing Matt Palmer, making his Angels debut. Career 40-34 in 7 years in the Giants organization. Signed with the Angels in January. He did have one very good major league start, and Mike Scioscia would take something like that. Last year against a pretty good offense in the Florida Marlins, he held them to 2 runs in 6 innings. That was one of 3 starts he had in the big leagues. In there.
Yeah, he's throwing with a little bit more command right now. It looks like to me he's dropped his arm angle down some from last inning even.
Brandon Inge, the batter, went deep last night. Hit his 5th home run of the year. He was the first Tiger ever to hit a home run in his first 3 games. Did that to start 2009.
Yep, he's driven in a run in his last 5 games. Pretty good hitter. He's changed his stance around a little bit. We talked about it in the first game of this series. He's kind of coiling that bat around a little bit there. He says it gives him a flatter plane through the hitting zone. So far so good for him, but sometimes you'll loop that swing. But not him. This year he's been very productive.
He had Inge 1-2. Now it's full 3-2. Missed on that last breaking ball. Angels play Brandon straight up on the infield and outfield, and Inge hits it hard but foul.
You know, one thing that we've noticed in Matt Palmer, and it's something that you don't see a whole lot of out there, is he's wearing his ring. His ring on his ring finger there is might be a wedding ring or whatever, but you don't usually see a lot of ring jewelry out there in baseball.
Inge to left field and deep, away back, and that baby's gone. Brandon Inge has just belted his 6th home run of the year, making it 2-0 Detroit.
We saw him go deep last night, dead center field. That ball was elevated, and he pounded it. Now he's not a big guy, but he's got really quick hands, and he's very quick through the hitting zone. Doesn't have a long swing. You see that elevated fastball? And short, quick swing provides the power.
Here is Josh Anderson. Ball 1.
And since Matt Palmer is married to Michelle Sellers, I would expect that to be his wedding ring on his glove hand. And the reason guys don't wear rings is pretty simple.
Safe at first base is Josh Anderson. He has fabulous speed, and when his tourist double clutch with the ball in his glove, he gets the base hit.
Yep, there you go. That's what speed does. Now, they should know by now that this kid's a good runner, but Asturis, he couldn't quite get the handle the first time around. He couldn't find it in the glove, and man, that was close. Could have went either way. But watch him. He gets down the line very well.
Right now, that is the 2nd infield hit of the game. They had that slow roller down the 3rd base line, and I'll bet you Anderson's going to go again.
He'll be leaning, no question. But getting back to that ring, you know, if you get hit in the hand or something happens on the field, you know, and your hand swells up, the ring can become a hindrance and cause some trouble. So most guys don't wear any kind of hand jewelry. But for Palmer, a pitcher, doesn't have to play out there. He feels pretty comfortable. His wife's got to feel good about that.
Right now, I think both would feel good about a ground ball hit right at an Angel infielder. 2-0 already. Detroit leads in the 2nd inning. Matt Trainer is the batter. Josh Anderson with terrific speed. 52 stolen bases last year. 42 in the minor leagues. Another 10 with the Atlanta Braves. Acquired by Detroit during spring training. And here is Matt Trainer, who was on our pregame show on Tuesday, and then his wife joined us in the booth, Misty May, the Olympic gold medalist in volleyball.
Trainer looking for a base hit so he can get a batting average this year. Part-time catcher.
He is 0 for 11. Career .237 hitter with 8 home runs.
Just his 4th game this year.
And there's Gerald, who's been their everyday catcher.
He's kind of happy to get a break. Although if you ask him, he would rather be playing.
Angels pitch out. Anderson does not go, and Mike took a chance on a 1-0 count with a guy who's been a bit wild, but I think Mike really believed that Anderson was going to go.
Nobody out. We'll see. It's not a bad time to run anytime. You got good speed. Trainer hasn't turned around to try to bunt one. We'll see. He took a big rip early in this game with a 2-0 lead. You're not going to see very much small ball going on, but certainly Anderson will be a threat to run.
Jeff Mathis catching Matt Palmer tonight. Mike Napoli went the first 2 games. Inning started with Brandon Inge going deep, his 6th home run of the year. Josh Anderson reached on the infield hit. Trainer with a 2-1 count. Anderson goes. Pitch is swung on and missed. Throw by Jeff. A steal for Anderson.
Okay, nice bag. Ripped it off. Good throw by Mathis. Just couldn't get him. Palmer tried to hold it, keep him from getting a good jump. And he's off. No peek back to the hitter. Doesn't care. He's going on a straight steal. Now Trainer, 0-2 count. He'll just try to muscle something to the right side. Do the little thing. You see that X-Mo camera? It's a beautiful shot. Love that camera. Slows the game down.
Trainer to center field. Matthews back. Tagging at second is Anderson, and there he goes. And Gary's throw to the cutoff man, so Detroit has a runner at third base with just 1 out here in the 2nd inning. Angel fans, this Saturday, April 25th, all kids ages 2 through 18 in attendance will receive a free Howie Kendrick lunch bag courtesy of Wild Rivers Water Park. Tickets for this game are still available for $3 in the view level and $5 in the lower view level when using the password Vlad at the Angel Stadium ticket window or angelsbaseball.com. Well, Detroit doing all the little things in this game. They have stolen a couple of bases. They've been advancing runners on ground outs and fly ball outs. And here's Adam Everett.
Yep, Soch not messing around, saying, all right, we're going to bring the infield in. Now he got burned on that last night a little bit as Everett hit a little doinker in shallow left field, and with the infield drawn in, Ibar couldn't get to it, knocked in a run. He had 3 hits last night, Everett.
And 2 of them were bloops. One into center field that glanced out the glove of Eric Ibar, and that one you're talking about in left.
He's known for his defense, not as much with his bat. Now they pitched out there because they thought it could be possible squeeze, as Leland has shown it twice already this season.
Yeah, he had 2 squeezes on Sunday in a victory over Seattle. Soch knows all about that. He has squeezed in the past. Won some ball games, a matter of fact, with a squeeze in late innings. Ground ball third. Figgins has it coming home, and Anderson is out at the plate. Home plate umpire Rob Drake wanted to make sure that Jeff had that ball in his glove. Good throw by Sean, and the Angels cut down the speedy Anderson.
Okay, a little too hopper. He had to wait back on it, threw a dart home. And Kid Anderson very fast. Mathis, he's laying all over home plate. There's no chance for Anderson to reach the dish. Rob Drake saw it. He's out. Good play by Sean. So he backed up a little bit. Good strong throw. Now Mathis looked like he might have caught a cleat on his right hand, but he seems to be all right.
Boy, Soch loves to see a guy block a plate like that. Saved a run right there. Keeps it at 2-0. Basically laid in front of home plate.
So why not see an X-Mo shot? Super slow motion. Look at that plate. Totally covered. No chance for the young man. Mathis just knelt in front of home.
That was just fabulous fundamentals right there.
Yeah, I love that.
How to block the plate.
Yeah, but you want to get down low, too. Take the leverage away from the runner. Get down low. That way, you know, if he does come in head first, your little ball there, you're protected. It's when you stand straight up that you get bowled over.
Palmer to Granderson, fouling it off. 1 ball, 1 strike. AnaMarines.com is about Curtis Granderson. This is a guy who certainly has been one of the leaders in the clubhouse and leaders of the game. A 7-game streak, and all 3 of those home runs have come in the first 2 games of this series. Outside. Well, that Palmer, his ball does move a lot. Matter of fact, it seems like the fastball sometimes has some natural cutting action to it.
He's got a little bit of action on it for sure, but wants to keep it down at the knees if possible. They've been catching him up a few times, especially that home run to end. First batter of this 2nd inning.
Inge hit the home run. Anderson reached on the infield hit, stole second base, went to third on Trainer's fly ball, and then was gunned down at home plate by Sean Figgins. Now 2 out, and Granderson lines one to right field. It is a base hit just in front of Bobby Abreu. So 2 on with 2 out, and the batter is Polanco.
Granderson staying hot.
This whole team is hot.
Yeah, once you get in a groove, you know, it doesn't matter who's pitching. You feel comfortable at the plate. Ball looks good. Talking it over with Andy Van Slyke, their first base coach. Gene Lamont, longtime baseball guy, former #1 draft pick in the 3rd base box.
He's a pretty good catcher in his day, wasn't he?
Been around a long time, Gino. He's got a problem with his knee, so he kind of takes his time getting out to 3rd base, but we all have a little something going on.
It's time now for the Firestone leaderboard. And you can check out the success of athletes in American League. And Toronto has a 1-point edge on Detroit for the American League batting race. Texas, I'm sure, will be there at the end, and so will Boston. These teams can really hit in there. Earlier in this ball game, Rob Drake was not calling that pitch a strike, but gives Matt Palmer an edge here, and Matt evens the count at 1-1. Polanco walked his first time up. Next pitch will be the 25th this inning for Matt Palmer. In the air, right field, Abreu makes the catch, inning over, and Jeff Mathis blocks the 3rd run for Detroit. decked out, same PJs, same hats.
And
good.
Same binkies.
Same binkies. Bottom 2 we go. Angels trailing 2-0. Kendry Morales will lead things off against Edwin Jackson. There's ball 1.
Okay, since Morales hit that home run off Verlander, that curveball, the hanger, I don't know if Edwin's going to throw any of those to him. Probably just start him out with heaters first time through.
Base hit left field, so Morales, he has 3 hits in the last 2 games, and he told our Jose Mota in the pregame show, he said he's been taking some swings in the hitting machine before the game to get his timing down, and that's what he did differently from the road trip to this homestand.
Well, they have a nice machine set up underneath the stadium here, and they go in there and hack. Now there's a 4-seam fastball, belt high. Nice swing, good and level. Let the ball travel deep to the catcher's glove trainer. Saw it all the way.
Mickey Hatcher said this kid's going to hit. Really good bat speed. And he made some good adjustments in that home run swing on the 9th pitch from Verlander. Took him deep. Now Juan Rivera.
He's due for a big fly. He's been getting some singles, a couple doubles. This guy's got good pop. Sitting 302.
Lined a double to right field last night to drive in a run. He has 5 RBIs. And he loves the heater, and Jackson's got a good one. Low. Milwaukee beat Philadelphia today 6-1. David Bush came within 4 outs of a no-hitter, but Matt Stairs broke it up with a home run in the 8th inning. Milwaukee won the game, though. Cole Hamels was hit by a line drive on the left shoulder and left the game in the 4th inning. We're calling it a left shoulder contusion. He is day to day. Cole has not had a great start after a terrific playoff. He's 0-2 to start the year with an ERA of 9.69. One of many starters this year off to slow starts.
Yep, every year, someone's going to get off to a slow start, and the injury bug will bite. First month of April, guarantee it. Ton of injuries, and there are every year. General managers, they plan for that. Sosha, they always rely on depth.
I don't think the Angels ever planned to have 6 pitchers on the disabled list in the first 2 weeks of the season. But Lackey, Santana, Escobar, Mosley, Oliver, and Jepson are all on the disabled list. Way high and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nope, he didn't count on that many in one position going down. That's for sure. But you can count on a few. Now he wasn't expecting Big Daddy Vladdy to go out either, and that's been a tough thing. Now Darren Oliver, he's the latest casualty with a little bit of triceps problem in his left arm. Maybe a little bit too much work for the dean of the Angels, the elder statesman.
I was wondering how you were going to word it politely.
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm learning from you.
38 years young. Way high. 3-2, so Jackson has lost his release point. That was his trouble last year. Even though he won 14 games for Tampa Bay, he walked 77 in 183 innings.
Looks like he's rushing it just a tad with his deliveries. Speeding up some. Matthews Jr. trying to get locked in himself. Waiting on deck.
Morales at first. Rivera expecting the fastball. And Juan pops it up on the infield. Backing up is Morales. Everett with the catch will not make a throw. And Kendry gets back in time. 1 out.
Okay, you never know out there. You got to be alive if you're a runner. Kendry Morales, he's going to go out there. He's taking off on the pitch. Okay, now watch Polanco, the second baseman. He's going to try to trick Morales. Now Morales, he's looking at the third base coach, looking for the ball. But Polanco, he's trying to trick him. Look like he's going to field it. So Morales, he had to hustle back to the base. But that's a nice play by the middle infielder there, Polanco. Veteran move. Especially when a guy's running with his head down in a hit and run and he can't pick up the ball. But you saw Morales did the right thing. He picked up Dino Ebel, the third base coach, who was pointing at the ball up.
And here's Gary Matthews Jr., the hero on Tuesday night's victory. Got the double off of the wall. Really should have had 3 hits in that game, as he had 3 smashing line drives. and the last one won the game. Then yesterday came up with a couple of base hits.
He's getting to play every day. His timing's coming back. As long as he hits it, he's going to stay in there. Okay, game-winning swing there. Nice, easy swing. Didn't try to muscle that ball. The ball jumped. Matthews is excited to come through. And that was a big hit for confidence for Junior. 2-0 count now. Be looking for something to drive. You get a pitcher to a count like this, and the pitcher goes out and talks to him saying, hey, come on now, come on down to that strike zone. You pretty much know what's coming. 2-0 lead. Ought to challenge him.
Gary muscles up, tries to drive it to right center, but it's run down by Ordonez. Back to first base, Morales. So he hits it sharply, but kind of hooked it where it came back to Maglio, and there's two gone now in the second inning.
But he didn't barrel it. If he hits it on the barrel, it's going to the wall. But that ball kind of just got in on him some, but nice swing.
And here is Howie Kendrick. But you were talking about him closing himself off, and Mickey Hatcher said if the pitcher can see the name on the back of his jersey, that ain't good.
Well, you know, he does that to try to tell himself to stay in, stay closed a little bit, but I think they worked on some stuff in the cage that Mickey said he's trying to open him up just a little. But what I see here, it looks like the same Howie. But you know, you practice and work and you think during the batting practice time and in the cage. But when you come out to hit right now live, you just go out and react. You don't think. You just look for the ball and hit it.
Rex, were there times where you had supreme confidence in the way you were tracking the ball, and other times you're going, gosh, I'm having a tough time picking it up?
Right. You might just kind of open up that front side a little bit, maybe turn your head, you know, a little bit more towards the pitcher, and you see it a little clearer. But you know, you're not going to make drastic changes. Not at this level. That's for minor league developing.
But you said the little change, maybe seeing over the bridge of your nose and the way his head was turned. He's got both eyes on the pitcher now.
Right, and you know that's going to help. He's got to turn. It all has to do with the front side. Front side is the side that either if it opens up, then you drag your hands through the zone, you have nothing but a looping fly ball swing. Stay closed, you got more impact.
Center field, Granderson's there. Inning over. The Angels get their leadoff man on, but can't get him past first base. Eats in the Diamond Club. Get yourself some cotton candy. And We've got big league baseball.
And don't forget the Knot Hole Club, and you can order a HUD roll and you won't go unsurprised. It'll be delicious.
Does that mean we're going to get sushi tomorrow night?
That's right.
You're the best.
It's outstanding. Now Palmer had a nice little chit chat with pitching coach Mike Butcher and Jeff Mathis in between innings.
He would like to get some early count outs. He's thrown 43 pitches already, 18 in the first, 25 in the second. Ordonez grounded out his first time up. Matt falling behind 3-0. The leadoff man has been on the first 2 innings. Granderson singled, stole second, scored on Cabrera's infield hit. Inge blasted a home run over the left field wall to start the second. 3-1. Angels still have not decided who will make Saturday's start. Could be Anthony Ortega or a guy like Sean O'Sullivan. In there, 3 balls and 2 strikes. But Mike Scioscia, because of the youth of guys like Jordan Walden and Trevor Recklin, he'd like to allow those guys to get into their game, get comfortable, and their upper class, because both of them moving up this year. And there's strike 3 call. Fell behind 3-0, came back with 3 darts to Maglio.
Really surprised that Maglio didn't swing the bat at all, especially on 3-1 and 3-2 there. Good job by Palmer to come back. That's some good movement on it coming in. Maglio got to go.
So 1 big out, and here's Cabrera. Had the infield hit last time up. Ground ball is Turris. 2 outs.
Okay, in between innings, I said we had it on camera. We saw Mike Butcher and Mathis talking to Palmer. Butcher saying, hey, look, now you got to stay on top of the ball. You're pitching underneath. He wants a downhill plane. Okay, downhill, he's saying. Okay, don't push it. He's saying don't push it out of your hand like this. Stay on top of the ball. Even if you're throwing sidearms, stay on top, and you're going to get better downhill plane action.
Well, he certainly has come out here in the 3rd inning. And he's only thrown 7 pitches, Rex, to get the first 2 outs. Guillen the batter. Ball 1. Tigers have won 4 of their last 6. Beat the Angels 12-10 last night. Guillen to left field. Backing up, Juan Rivera. A 1-2-3 3rd inning for Matt Palmer. Settling down. Two-0 lead, scoring a run in the first, a run in the second, and here we go. Number 3 for the Angels. Jeff Mathis, Sean Figgins, Meiser is Turris. Hitters 9-1-2. Jackson with that very good fastball at 93 miles an hour. Strike one.
Comes out of there free and easy. Hard for Mathis to get some timing. Playing now about once every 3 or 4 days. Napoli is looking pretty comfortable with the bat, and Scioscia had made the comment earlier that he would go with a hot hand. Whoever's hitting.
Both of them really call a nice game, and Jeff blocking balls, better arm. Mike has that tremendous power in his bat. A lot of people talk about him DHing. But then you lose a catcher, you're going to have to bring up a guy like Bobby Wilson from the minor leagues, and they'd like to see Bobby get a lot of at-bats down at AAA.
No, here's another big leaguer that's ready. Bobby Wilson.
Hit a home run yesterday. Second straight game that Wilson has homered, and Terry Evans hit a grand slam, and Salt Lake won. Edwin Jackson with a 2-2 count to Jeff.
Napoli did a great job, though, blocking balls in yesterday's game. He got beat up. He'll get a little time there, and he's watching along with Weaver, looks like, or maybe that's Quinlan. You learn a lot by watching. Watch different guys on the field, what they do, their tendencies, try to pick out certain things.
Oh, good slider, struck him out. Second strikeout for Edwin Jackson. And fans, the Angels have a great ticket special for the series against Seattle beginning tomorrow through Sunday. Tickets are now available for just $3 in the entire view level, $5 in the lower view level, and $10 in the right and left field pavilions. Use the password VLAD at the Angel Stadium ticket window or angelsbaseball.com to purchase your tickets today. Sean Figgins up in the dirt. Sean flied out to left field his first time up. 2 for 10 in the series. I tell you, Tampa must really be deep in their starting pitchers in the minor leagues, major leagues, to get rid of a guy like Edwin Jackson. They didn't get rid of him. They needed some outfield depth and acquired Matt Joyce in the deal. But this guy was a 14-game winner last year, had 183 innings pitched. Just developing at the age of 25. I think he's got a nice future.
Well, there's no question. I mean, the Tigers, when they made that trade, they knew they were getting a good number 2, 3, or 4 guy, depending on their rotation and how they all slotted out.
So they're going with Verlander, Galarraga, Jackson, Porcello, and they're hoping to get Jeremy Bonderman or Dontrell Willis back soon. In there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Edwin made his major league debut on his 20th birthday, September 9th, 2003, versus Randy Johnson. So what a debut. He won the game. Hit sharply. Everett has it. Good hands. And 2 outs. He won the game, becoming the youngest pitcher to win his debut since Doc Gooden in 1984 at the age of 19. And he was the 5th pitcher to debut on his birthday. Larry Dierker was the last at age 18 in 1964. Can you imagine starting in the big leagues at age 18?
That's young. Wow.
Dierker, David Clyde, guys like that.
Yep. Doc Gooden.
He was ready at 19.
Yeah, the doctor was awesome. Now in 83, when he made his debut, it was 84, but in 83 they brought him up, the Tidewater Tides, to play the Columbus Clippers for the International League Championship. I was on the Clippers, and my buddy says, "Hey man, we got a phenom for you tonight." I said, "Really, who is he?" Well, he calls himself the Doc. I said, "Well, we'll see." Well, the lights were dim, and after that first 2 pitches I never saw, I swung at the third one and shattered my bat in about 15 pieces. Doc Gooden was on the rise. He was good in the minors.
But you made contact, Hud.
That's right.
A slow roller towards Inge. He barehands his throw, not in time as Turris has an infield hit.
Good try by Inge. I didn't think it was going to be even close. Meiser runs pretty well down the line. Brandon made a heck of an attempt. Okay, Chopper. On your horse, you become a runner. You don't watch the ball. Look at that. He barely picked it up with the tips of his fingers, readjusted, and almost got him. See where Meister stepped on the base? Right there in the front. That's proper.
Is Turris a good base runner? The Angels have one steal tonight. It's by the guy at the plate, Bobby Abreu. Strike one. Bobby swung at the first pitch a couple of times last night. One time he hit the ball sharply but grounded out. The other time, up in the 5th inning, he lined a single to left field. He usually does take that first pitch, and sometimes pitchers go, well, okay, I'll just throw one right down the middle. And that's when Bobby says, maybe I'll change my approach here. Outside.
He just has the ability to wait. Just to wait on that ball, throw his hands. Keeps everything simple.
And I watch his head. It's so still when he's at the plate. Earlier in the game, Rex, we were talking about tracking the ball. Bobby Abreu really tracks it well. I mean, right out of that pitcher's hand, almost right into the catcher's glove. As Turris is going, the throw is high. Meister has the steal. The Angels have a man in scoring position with 2 out here in the 3rd.
Good job of reading Edwin Jackson. He took 2 or 3 pitches there before he took off. Slight little peek back. Any more than a slight peek back to the hitter will slow you down a half a step. Some guys will take 2 strides sometimes while they're looking at the hitter, and that's too long.
Bobby becomes an RBI machine right here. Knocked in 100 for the Yankees last year. Good count at 3-1, but a right-hander is waiting on deck in Torrey Hunter. Cabrera with a terrific play at first base. And they record the out. Jackson keeps the foot on the bag, or the Angels would have had their first run, but Cabrera robs them. Marlins a few years back. Mike Scioscia in 2002.
How about Bob Brenly? He win one?
We're giving all the answers away.
Well, that leaves 2.
Fouled off. A Yankee manager was former catcher.
That leaves 1 now.
Okay, we'll let the fans guess the 5th. Here is Brandon Inge. Ground ball, Sean Figgins. Inge is out. It's 5 in a row retired by Matt Palmer.
All right, Mike Butcher told him, to stay on top of that ball, and you won't give it up as much. Okay, 3rd inning, Magglio Ordonez. You see his front side leaked out. He was done. All right, there's Cabrera there. That ball's off the plate. Okay, that's a good pitch. It's not down the middle. Now, this one was perfect. See the angle of the bat? That's going to provide a pop out, easy out. So when you stay down, the hitter's got to do more to get it in a hole. But if it's up, all the batter has to do is throw his hands nice and level, and those are the home run cookies.
And as Rex just explained, Ordonez did strike out. Cabrera did ground out, and as you explained about Guillen, he flied out to left field.
All right, so looks like Palmer's kind of settling a little bit. There's another out.
How about Matt Palmer? This guy threw 42 pitches in the first 52 pitches in the first 2 innings. Check that. 43 pitches in the first 2 innings. Needed 9 to get out of the 3rd. And right now he's only needed 5 to get the first 2 outs of inning number 4.
Well, to me, he looks more relaxed in his face.
Just playing catch with Jeff Mathis. Strike 1.
That's all you tell it. Now, that was a ball that was a good hitting pitch there. That was belt high, but Trainer took it. Trainer's still looking for a knock.
0 for 12. Former star at Mater Dei. He was a 2nd-team All-American there, and you were talking the other day, and he was getting a little nervous when he said, hey, is that Bobby Grich?
Yeah. First of all, I'm down there. They're getting ready to stretch, and he goes, I heard you were trying to pick up my wife. Because Misty was in the booth the night before, and I go, hey, man, she wasn't supposed to say anything to you. And then we laughed. We had a good little laugh. And then he goes, is that Bobby Grich behind the screen? And I said, yeah. And then he goes, man, I have one of his bats from Palm Springs when he was a player.
Matt pops it up right side. Kendry Morales going over foul territory, and Kendry makes the catch. And Matt Palmer, surprise call up from Salt Lake City, pretty good through 4.
He was the one you didn't mention.
It was Mr. McKeon.
There you go. I don't know if anybody could have got that one. I would. I missed that.
Well, Jimmy Leland spent 6 years in the minor leagues as a catcher for Detroit. And, of course, Mike Scioscia won 2 world championships as a catcher for the Dodgers. Torrey Hunter now to start things for the Angels. Angels with 2 hits, no runs. The Tigers with 5 hits, 2 runs. They got single tallies in the first and second inning. And Hunter lines it sharply to right field, base hit. That's a 10-game hit streak for Mr. Hunter.
That's right, 10-gamer. That's nice to start the season. It's nice anytime. You'll take that.
You know, he's such a good guy. Did you hear his story about going back home to see his family in Dallas? And Darren Oliver did the same thing. And they were at the airport getting ready to board their flight, and the flight's canceled. So Torrey said, Darren, we got to get back. We got a ball game. So he rents an airplane. And he said, Darren, I'm picking this one up for you. Flies the 2 of them back to L.A. They got here in time. And Torrey saying, man, that cost me a lot of cake. But he goes, I'm not letting Dio touch that. But they both had a chance to go back and see their families. Good man.
Almost got picked off there. He's trying to get a good lead.
Must be that jet lag.
He has 1 bag this year, this Torrey.
And he's a good base runner.
Yeah, we saw him last year, and I want to say 3 or 4 times take off for second base before the pitcher even started his windup. Those are the kind of jumps he got.
Where the catcher just goes, I'm just catching it and giving it back to the pitcher.
Well, Jackson, he's pretty quick home. At least he was on that pitch. And he missed badly.
Henry Morales put together a 9-pitch quality at bat last night in the first inning, and Mike Scioscia talked about the adjustments that Henry made within that at bat. Not catching up with Verlander's overpowering fastball, and then it looked like he timed it better and was fouling it straight back. There's another strike, and it's 1-2. But it almost seemed like Verlander was in Justin's mind, like, I think he's catching it with my heater. I'll throw him the breaking ball, and he hung a breaker, and then Henry Morales rode it out of the park for a 3-run home run.
Here's wait for that mistake. Jackson, very good athlete, bounces off the mound quickly.
And that one's a gapper to left center field. Hunter around second base, stopping there. Granderson has a pretty good arm, plus the way he had angled his body, he was lined up to send it to third. So the Angels have 2 on, nobody out in the 4th inning.
Morales staying hot. That's what he needed for confidence last night. Now he's going at it. Good level swing. See when that ball's elevated, all the hitter's got to do is just put an easy swing on it, fights it off, and so it finds pay dirt. Didn't quite have enough to get it through the gap, but he hit it where they ain't or where they weren't.
So he has 5 hits in the first 3 games of this series after just having 3 hits on the entire road trip to Seattle and Minnesota. 2 on, nobody out.
The Angels, a .250 average coming into this game with runners in scoring position, would like to improve that. Juan Rivera, he's hitting .364 with runners out there. He's got a few base hits with a runner at second and beyond.
Juan popped up on a 3-2 count his first time up, grounds 1 third, and bobbles the ball, and everybody's going to be safe. This will be the second error on Brandon tonight, a superior defender.
Well, that ball took a funny hop now, but he did exactly what he wanted to do, stay in front of it. You can't always guarantee a good hop, but he kept it in front of him. If he olays that, now watch him. See, he's going to sit back and wait for that hop. Okay, it took an extraordinary hop, hits off his chest, and that's a tough error. He had the first. I mean, he had him his body positioned to where he thought the ball was going to be, but when it hopped up a little extra high, he used his chest to keep it in front.
And it seemed like he was getting ready to grab the baseball, touch third, throw to first, and get a double play. Instead, the Angels have him loaded. And Angel fans, spend your Friday nights at the Big A watching exciting Angels baseball, and followed by one of the great fireworks shows in the Southland We've got one coming your way tomorrow when Seattle comes to town. Tickets for this game are still available for $3, just $3, fans, in the view level and $5 in the lower view level when using the password Vlad at the Angels Stadium ticket window or angelsbaseball.com. Good crowd on hand on this Thursday night. The Angels have them loaded. Nobody out in the fourth inning. Inge with 2 errors in the first 4 innings. And Gary Matthews Jr., who hit the ball hard his first time up, flying out to right field. He has 3 slams in his life.
And swinging a good bat.
Ball 1, so Jackson starts him off with a little off-speed pitch.
Okay, that was good for Matthews. He spit on that. Now he's got to come in there. So Junior's got to be looking to hit right here on this pitch. I want to take a fastball here because that's an opportune pitch to drive in some runs. Ooh, there you go. Okay, now we understand that the official score tonight changed the error on Inge to a hit because of the bad hop, I'm sure. But Matthews with a good swing. Had the pitch he wanted, just missed it.
Okay. So the base is loaded on 3 straight hits. Ooh, up and in. The count is 2-1, and Gary got the heater right by his head.
Okay, they're trying to pitch him inside. You know, that was not a purpose pitch up there, but they did want it in. Okay, that's how you turn away from a ball coming at you, just like that.
In there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Hanging slider. That ball was up in the zone. Edwin Jackson, he took his hat off and wiped his brow saying, whoo, glad he didn't swing at that one.
He wants a strikeout here and then maybe get a double play on the next batter. He's got to think first things first and get through this one. He'll give up a run if he can get 2 outs here as Howie Kendrick waiting his turn in that on-deck circle. Fought it off. Well, he is not wanting to come to Mr. Matthews with the fastball.
Well, it's because he's a hot hitter. Trainer and Jackson, they go over all the hitters before the game, talk about who's hot, who's not. But that doesn't mean that you're going to go away from your strength, though. It just, you just want to be aware of who's swinging a good bat. But the competitors that pitchers are, they want to challenge you with their best stuff.
Hunter third, Morales second, Rivera first. Time called, Trainer out.
I had a nice conversation with my good friend and former Angel great Mark Langston the other day about that very same thing. Langley, what do you do when you're facing a hot hitter? He says, well, we know who's hot and who's not. That's important to know. And I said, well, if the guy's hot and he likes a fastball and that's your best pitch, are you going to go away from that? He says, no, I'm going to go out there and pitch my game to my strength, but I'm going to challenge him. I'm going to challenge him and say, here it is, man. This is my best against yours. Let's go. That's the mentality of a pitcher. But with the bases loaded, you might be a little more careful with the location.
Down low, 3-2. He did go with the fastball, but it was at his location and just did miss low. So Edwin has thrown 64 pitches tonight, not yet through 4. In his first real jam of the night. In his first real jam of the year. He has pitched very well in the first 3 outings of the season. Great at bat by Gary Matthews Jr. He drives in a run with a bases loaded walk on a 3-2 count. Torrey Hunter scores from third, and the Angels have cut the lead in half.
I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the first 2 games, the Angels offense, Mickey Hatcher's guys, they had a really good game plan against Galarraga and Verlander. They taxed both of those pitchers by being selective and waiting for a pitch to hit, and it worked pretty well for them. They should have won yesterday's game, but the bullpen couldn't hold it for them. But tonight, again, they're waiting Jackson out.
Now Kendrick. Strike one. First pitch slider. Morales at third base. Juan Rivera second. Matthews, very good speed at first, so a gapper could clear the bases.
Well, I would love that for confidence. He needs a big hit.
Chases that breaking ball. It's 0-2.
Okay, now also they know that Howie can square up a fastball with the best of them. So he's not giving in to him. He's kind of throwing that breaking ball. Now, I don't know. He might come inside with a heater, or he could stay with the same off-speed stuff.
One ball, two strikes. Outfield playing Kendrick to spray the ball to right field. Granderson over in right.
Howie in a 2 for 25 skid. Nothing's better than a single or anything to gain some confidence.
2-2.
Now, Fizz, I heard from a Little League coach the other day that said, hey, Hud, one of my players came up to me and said that Rex Hudler says a lousy single, and that means it's no good. And I said, no. I was explaining to the coach, at this level, the big leagues, it's just a saying. It's just a slang term that I use. It doesn't mean that that's bad. It's just at this level, lousy single, but they work. It's almost a sarcastic comment. So please don't take that personally, you young Little Leaguers. Howie, he's working himself like Matthews did. Jackson had him 0-2, and he's been teasing him out of the strike zone, and Howie ain't swinging.
And one of the keys to Kendrick's success is to be just let that slider go. And even to the point where Mickey Hatcher said, I wouldn't be at all mad at him if occasionally he took a slider for a called strike three rather than swing and miss at it.
Anything close, though, he wants to be swinging.
There you go.
The base is loaded.
The 3-2. A fastball in there. Strike three called.
Okay, there it was. That's just way too good with the bases loaded to lock up. Edwin needed to make a pitch, and he did. Painted the black.
So one big out, and the Angels want to stay out of the double play. They've scored a run on a bases loaded walk. In the dirt, blocked beautifully by Matt Trainer.
You know, the guys hitting down the 8th and 9th spot tonight, Howie and Jeff Mathis. You know, they're both looking for some confidence boosters here. Now, it's not going to help Howie taking that call third, but hey, look, it's a team game. He's probably told Mathis, you get him. Mathis, he has good pull power.
Ball, a strike.
But in spring training, he was hitting everything to right field. Really had a game plan going. And it worked the first few games that he got to play here this season when the bell rang. Then Napoli got most of the reps. So now Mathis really wants to just go with a 2-strike approach almost, and, you know, look to make some good contact.
2-1. Edwin Jackson has been able to either paint the corner or really miss by a lot. And when he's been on his game like the last start he had against Seattle, he was very sharp on all of his pitches, barely missing that strike zone. Only one walk in 7 2/3 innings. A little high. A 3-1 count. High ball 4. The game is tied at 2 as the Angels coming back on bases loaded walks.
Hey, something that you would never think they would score their runs on walks. But Jackson having a hard time with his off-speed pitches, locating them for strikes. And he's starting these hitters off, every one of them with the bases loaded with a slider.
The Angels not known for being really patient at the plate. Last year they finished last in the major leagues with an average of 3.65 pitches faced per plate appearance. But Mickey Hatcher really impressed with the way the team has been working the starting pitchers in this series. Sean Figgins up. He is 0 for 2. Strike one.
All right, first fastball to a guy with the bases loaded. Now let's see. He can get away with more fastballs with Figgins because he's not Leary Jackson is of Figgy hitting one deep on him. So he's just going to try to stay away from him. Outfielders have come in a little bit.
Fouled off, so Sean down 0-2. Bonine is in the pen, and Eddie Bonine, a rookie. He's been their middle relief guy, and you think Edwin Jackson's already thrown 78 pitches and not yet through 4. So the Angels tax Galarraga game 1, Verlander game 2, and now Jackson game 3. Sean pops it up, shallow left. Anderson with the catch. Rivera does not go, and the throw is cut off by Brandon Inge, and there's 2 gone now in the 4th inning.
Well, he'd almost rather face anybody in this situation than the guy that's coming up.
Meiser Turris always clutch in the pass. Very good. Career above 300 with runners in scoring position. And Meiser tonight with a base hit his last time up, an infield hit.
Okay, look at that average bases loaded numbers. He's pretty solid. He gets a fastball out over, he'll put it somewhere.
First pitch, breaking ball, check swing. They appeal. He did not go. Counts 1-0.
That's Mark Wegner, third base umpire. Meiser, he hits the ball where it's pitched. We saw him double down the right field line last night. Big hit.
A topper over the head of Jackson, and Polanco throws out his Turris at first base, but the Angels score 2 runs on bases loaded walks by Edwin Jackson. Most bitter rivalries are on Fox as the Yankees head to Fenway Park to take on David Ortiz and the Red Sox in their first series of the year, or the Cubs battle Albert Pujols and the Cardinals. Coverage of Fox Saturday Baseball begins this week at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. Matt Palmer back on the hill at square one, tie ball game. Palmer's first start with the Angels this year. He is the 7th starting pitcher the Angels have used in their first 15 games. And they'll probably push that number to 10, hopefully, in the next month and a half. That means Lackey, Santana, and Escobar are going to get healthy. Kelvin, right now, they've pushed him back a little bit. They're taking their time with him. He's still doing the long toss at about 150 feet, but they want to be slow in getting him back on the mound. And it's nothing really major, but they just want to. They don't want to take chances with Escobar. Now Lackey and Santana really feeling good and really close. Irvin will go tomorrow night. That ball is smashed to Morales, but he picks it off. And Adam Everett is the first out of the 5th inning. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row retired by Matt Palmer.
Yeah, he's got a nice thing working now. He took the advice of Mike Butcher. Instead of pushing it up as he was the first couple innings, was up in the zone a little bit. Now with the runs they gave him to tie it up, it's a new game. He feels pretty good at 65 pitches thrown. He's doing a nice job.
Well, he figured this year, he said, if you throw more strikes, you throw more innings. And that's what he wanted to do, because he would have a high pitch count, like 100 pitches by the 5th or 6th inning. Granderson, the batter, he's 2 for 2 and just takes that low. 2 balls, no strikes. Curtis, a pair of base hits in this game and 7 hits in the series, including 3 home runs.
That's where Palmer wants to miss.
2-1.
Good spot on the outside corner. You can be careful with him. His 3rd home run, he pulled down the right field line, just high enough to get over that short wall.
Popped him up left side. Sean Figgins. Oh, and it's Jeff Mathis. I thought Sean was saying I got it, but Jeff couldn't hear him. And the catcher usually gives way to the 3rd baseman, but Jeff made the catch, and that's the key.
Yeah, Mathis out rebounded him. He's a lot taller.
He also was able to post up on him, Rex.
Yeah, he did.
And that's not a flop by Sean Figgins, as they say in the NBA.
How about a nice helping hand?
Yeah. 2 outs. Polanco ground ball, second base. Matt Palmer, 5 innings, 2 runs allowed. Check it out. He has shut them out the last 3. As a matter of fact, he has not allowed a base runner the last 3. So the kid out of Southwest Missouri State doing a good job.
Yes. And just in the nick of time.
That's what's great about the game of baseball. You never know who's going to step up and accept the challenge.
That's why guys hate to go on the disabled list. That's one of the reasons. They're going, oh, great. Now Another guy's going to come up and take my job, but this is a land of opportunity. Baseball certainly is. Good for Matt Palmer. Looks really good so far. I mean, looks like he might have another inning or two in him. That's what the bullpen needed. Little breather for a few innings.
Bobby Abreu looking for his first Angel home run, and he fouls it off the left side. Busted 20 for the Yankees last year, and he also had 63 extra base hits. So believe me, fans, this guy's going to get it done. He has averaged almost 70 extra base hits in his career. That's with Philadelphia and the Yankees. Wow, good pitch there. Breaking ball that really floated in there and strikes out Bobby. First out.
All right, we're going to show you Jack in the box, outside the box. And that's exactly what Edwin Jackson was. He was outside of the zone as he walks in. Torrey Hunter. And Mathis takes the walk for Morales, comes in. That is our Jack in the box, outside the box.
Torrey Hunter, center field. Granderson back, away back. Number 6 for Torrey.
Hunter not wasting any time, waiting for a good pitch he could hit, and he drove it to a tough part of the yard. You don't see a lot of balls leave in right center field off a right-hander's bat, and not too many left-handed bats. That ball, he crushed it. Torrey Hunter continuing that hitting streak at 10 as he got a single in the 4th inning, and now homers to give the Angels the lead. Great opposite field stroke.
Same inning on Tuesday, Rex. His home run tied the game at 3, and then Gary Matthews Jr. won it in the 8th. Morales up, swings and rolls it to short. Everett there. 2 outs.
Okay, now Torrey's, not all his power comes from pull power. That ball's in the outer half of the plate. He caught it good, and whenever Torrey Hunter hits a ball squarely in the air like that, he flip his bat away. That usually tells you he got it all.
And with that home run, he now has 800 career RBIs. A few years ago with the Twins, he blasted 31. He's well on pace, over pace for that. Juan Rivera, the batter, 1 for 2, reached on an infield hit his last time up. Low and in the dirt. So Bobby and Torrey having some fun sitting there. Both really good guys. So Mr. Palmer has the lead at 3-2. We're in the 5th inning. Angels know they'll have to eventually go to their bullpen, and the bullpen has to get the job done, because last night the Angels had an 8-6 lead in the 7th inning and lost the ball game 12-10. Rivera swings and misses.
Juan got him a single off of the bad hop off the chest of Inge at 3rd in his last at bat. He'll take it. Good change up there. Straight change. Had Juan fooled. So now we're seeing 3rd time around Jackson starting to bring that change up in.
Looks like a pretty good one. He's thrown a couple in the at-bats he's had with Rivera. Now he heats up the fastball at 96 miles an hour, and Juan spun it right off the mask of the home plate umpire, Rob Drake. I guess good news on Kerwin Danley. He's feeling a lot better.
Yes, we're happy. I'm a big Kerwin Danley fan, and he's got a ton out here in Southern California. Glad to see him healthy and out of the hospital and recovering.
Kerwin Danley, major league umpire, got hit in the head the other day with a broken baseball bat. Rivera with a shot to center field. It stays up for Granderson. He pulls it down. But in the inning, Torrey Hunter blasts his 6th home run of the year, and it breaks the 2-2 tie. It's now the Angels 3 and the Tigers 2.
As the designated hitter.
6th inning we go. Matt Palmer settling down beautifully. He's retired 10 straight Tigers. Now goes through the teeth of the order and a tough trio in Ordonez, Cabrera, and Guillen.
It's okay. Steady as she goes. Nice little tempo he's got.
Foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Angels at 5 and 9, Tigers at 8 and 6, tied with the Chicago White Sox for the central lead. Backs him off the plate, struck him out looking last time up. Tried to check his swing, he went, and it was foul tipped into the glove of Jeff Mathis, so a 2-2 count.
Interesting how Palmer settled down. His first couple innings, and could tell he's a little bit nervous. He was forcing some pitches, but Mike Butcher, the head mechanic of the Angels pitching staff, and Mathis got together and figured out what he was doing.
In the air, right side. Bobby Abreu says he has it. He does, and 1 out. Welcome to the Coors Light 6th inning. Now it's time for the Coors Light freeze game.
Might as well freeze it on Sean Figgins' arm. Man, he's got a good arm, but we're going to freeze it at another spot. Watch this. Right there. Door closed. Look at the plate right there, and no sign of Johnson's foot.
Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. 11 in a row retired by Matt Palmer. Had 3 starts in the major leagues. A career ERA over 8. But this is a guy who loves baseball so much. He pitched in winter ball in Venezuela and was actually a closer down there. Only gave up 3 earned runs in 17 innings with 7 saves. So Palmer has done both, starting, relieving in his professional career.
Yeah, that's not a bad role to go down there and be a closer. You don't have to, not a lot of wear and tear on your arm. 17 innings, no sweat. Keeps him in shape.
His Turris bobbles the ball, still has time. Cabrera is out, and that's 12 in a row retired by Matt Palmer. And if he gets 1 more, Rex, he will match that start he had against the Florida Marlins, which was his best of his career.
Opportune time.
Yep.
Perfect.
But so how about efficiency? He threw 43 pitches first 2 innings, and he's thrown 27 the next 3. And let's see here, 8 to get 2 outs in this inning. Good job by Matt Palmer. batter is Carlos Guillen. Should have given him my fortune cookie. You ate at an outstanding restaurant here at the ballpark, Panda Express, tonight, and you gave me a fortune cookie. I broke it open and it said, "A thrilling time is in your immediate future." Should have given that to Mr. Palmer because it's been a thrilling time for him. There is down the line foul.
Yeah, but you know, this is just working out so far so good for the Matt Palmer, making his Angel debut, looking good. Now it's amazing. Now he didn't have a great few starts in AAA. His ERA was up around 11. So the newspapers saying bringing a guy up from AAA that's getting racked around in AAA. They're kind of making fun of the fact the Angels are trying to find some starters, but you never know what's going to happen in baseball. This guy seizes the opportunity, and he is right now. Just keep her down. 0-2. Might want to waste a pitch. Nothing too good. 0-2.
Well, Mike Scioscia knows his players, also knows his scouts, and Mike saw him a couple of times towards the end of spring training and really liked the way his stuff was picking up at the end of spring training. We did one of his TV games in a start he had in Tempe. Curveball misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A run in the first, a run in the second. Nothing by Detroit since. Trying to get him to chase one, but these are disciplined veteran hitters, Ordonez, Cabrera, and Guillen in this order. Cabrera had an infield hit to knock it a run in the first. Inge hit a home run in the second. The Angels scored 2 in the fourth on bases loaded walks, and Hunter blasted one out to make it 3-2. Guillen up the middle, and that ends the streak of 12 in a row set aside by Matt Palmer. Around baseball today, St. Louis beat New York Mets 12-8. Albert Pujols hit 2 more home runs. He now has 6 for the year, and he has 22 RBIs, leading the majors.
Talk about a quiet swing and a nice approach.
Brandon Inge homered his first time up, grounded out his last at bat. Strike 1. Cleveland beat Kansas City 5-2. The Tribe scored 4 in the 8th. Grady Sizemore hit his 6th, and he's a leadoff guy with 15 runs scored this year and also 17 RBIs. Chopped foul.
Good movement on that changeup there. That was good. Moving down and in. Can't do anything with that but swing and miss or just foul it off like he did. So that's the previous 2 hitters now. He has 0-2, and that's where you want him. Pitching ahead and throwing strikes.
Center field. Hunter should have it. Excuse me, Gary Matthews Jr. And Gary makes the catch. Matt Palmer, through 6, has the lead. Angels baseball is brought to you by Buy.com. Check out Buy.com, where you'll always find free shipping and discount prices on millions of products. And by your Southern California Toyota dealer and their line of fuel-efficient vehicles. Good crowd at the Big A. They've enjoyed this one. A pitching duel between Jackson and Palmer. 3-2 Angels lead. Mike Butcher, pitching coach, sitting with Jeff Mathis, the Angels catcher, and Palmer just called up from Salt Lake, and he's pitched a dandy. 2 runs in 6 innings. Gary Matthews Jr. will lead things off. He's flied out and walked with the bases loaded to drive in a run. Fouled off. Jackson's father, Edwin Sr., served in the Army for 23 years, reaching the level of staff sergeant. Jackson spent his childhood moving from base to base, from Germany to Ohio to Louisiana and back to Germany, before finally settling at Fort Benning in Columbus, Georgia. A tapper up the middle. Everett's got to quickly hurry instead as Polanco cuts him there, and Gary beats out an infield hit, and that's the second infield hit for the Angels tonight. Third, excuse me.
The minute that comes off your bat as a hitter, you know you got a chance. Matthews did. He becomes a base runner, showing no ill effects of the surgically repaired left knee. Hard-working guy. Worked his tail off in the offseason to come back way before the Angels expected him to. Went to spring training, felt good. They gave him the green light, and he showed some things. He hit for some power. He hit a triple, showing his legs were healthy.
Matthews goes in the first pitch, and Kendrick swinging. And I like that by Mike Scioscia, because sometimes when a guy is pressing like Kendrick is, 2 for his last 26, you'll put the hit and run on because it takes the pressure off the batter and onto the manager.
But you know, that's all good and well, and it was a good try there, but it was a pitch that was elevated, tough to get on top of. You can tell by Matthew Jr.'s jump that it wasn't the best jump, and that's usually a hit and run. You don't want to get picked off at first.
Well, he has it in the Tigers' minds that Matthews might be going. Now he struck out looking with the bases loaded back in the 4th inning. Ground ball in the hole. Everett can't make the play, and that might be an infield hit for Kendrick.
Well, regardless, he's on base. That makes him feel good. I'm not going to hold my breath for the official score here, but doesn't matter. They're on. Second and first. Angels got a chance. Nobody out. Let's see. It looks like they gave him a base hit. Howie will take it.
It's the 4th infield hit for the Angels tonight. It breaks that 2 for 26. And Jeff Mathis coming up. The next pitch will be Jackson's 100th. So the Angels offense has really made Detroit starting pitchers work throughout this series. Mathis trying to sacrifice those runners along, get Gary to third and Kendrick to second.
Okay, tough chore here to try to bunt a hard fastball. That was 91. That's an extreme skill. It's not automatic, but Mathis is one of the best bunters on the team. The way the kid Matt Palmer's pitching, he could use another couple more insurance runs. By moving the runners, that possibly get it done.
Mathis bunts it foul. Well, they've changed it again, Rex. They've given Adam Everett an error, so that's 3 times tonight the official scorekeeper has overruled his earlier decision. And quite frankly, I thought Gary had a great jump and might arrive at second base before Everett's throw, but who knows.
Hey, Howie at first base, he can get a pretty good lead as Miguel Cabrera's in on the grass at first. Now with 2 strikes, doubtful he's going to bunt, so she'll probably give an opportunity to swing away.
They wanted to see, there was no play on, and Jackson turned And I think they wanted to see if Mathis might show bunt. He did not. In the dirt.
Okay. Pretty good block by Trainer there. Keeping it in front. Else that would have advanced the runners for Mathis and given him a shot.
I think his wife would have been proud. That would have been like a dig in volleyball. Misty May would have said, wow, Matt, you're getting after it. You had, what was it? You had the thumbs out?
A thumbs up. But he needs thumbs out.
1-2. In the dirt. There goes Matthews to third and Kendrick to second base. So the runners will advance and the count is now 2-2. So Mathis can say, hey, I've done my job. The runners moved along and I'm still at bat with nobody out.
Yeah, that was exactly what the Angels needed and pretty much what the Tigers didn't want. Okay, good job by Gary Matthews Jr. Especially after the previous pitch. They're being alive on anything in the dirt to possibly advance. And when you have that good speed, you can do that. Now Leland's got his infielders in. Howie Kendrick, the second base runner, he can get a huge lead and score on any single. Should be able to.
3-2. Jeff walked his last time up with the bases loaded to drive in a run. And you just wonder if this could be his last batter because he has labored with his command in the last few innings, throwing a lot of pitches. And Eddie Bonine is up in that bullpen for Detroit one more time. Counts full. Grounder. Inge makes a terrific play. And it skips by Cabrera into the dugout. Matthews will score. Kendrick to third. To second base, Jeff Mathis. The Angels in front 4-2. And they're going to let Kendrick come home now. And he makes it 5-2.
Way to pressure. Good at bat by Mathis. Started off, fouled off a couple, made it 0-2, and then Jackson, little bout of wildness. It's like Leland's seen enough.
Well, Detroit came in a fine defensive team, but they have struggled tonight. A couple of errors on Brandon Inge. And it's 5-2 Angels, and Jackson is leaving for the night. In comes Eddie Bonine. Tonight and had one knock off his chest that was ruled a base hit. This will be ruled a hit and error, 2-run scoring on this overthrow.
Well, it looked like it was a tough dig for sure. It was an in-between, and Miguel tried to keep his glove hand in tight, and he couldn't reach out and knock it down. They don't call it the hot corner for nothing. It's a tough position to play.
Our In-N-Out burger, who's in, who's out. Well, Jackson's out and Bonine is in. This is Eddie Bonine, a 27-year-old right-hander out of Columbus, Georgia. Same town as tonight's starting pitcher for Detroit, Edwin Jackson. He has not pitched in 10 days, though. He last pitched on April 13th against the White Sox, and he found a career-high 4 batters in that game. Jackson still has 1 man on base that belongs to him, but 3 of the 5 runs he allowed were unearned, but 2 walks were with the bases loaded and drove in 2 runs. Figgins to center field, coming on as Granderson makes the catch, out number 1.
Okay, this kid Bonine, he's got a fastball anywhere from 86 to 91, slider changeup, and he throws a knuckleball. It's a hard, yeah, it's a hard one.
You know, Matt Palmer also throws a knuckleball, a hard knuckleball. Hasn't thrown it in the game because Jeff Mathis told us, I'm not calling it.
Well, why should he?
Exactly.
He's mowing down one of the best hitting teams in baseball with the sinker, curve, and slider, and a few changeups.
Bonine drops one on the outside corner to Meiser as Turris for strike 1.
You can see that sinking action on Eddie Bonine's ball.
Meiser 1 for 3, an infield hit and a stolen base back in the 3rd. Down low and inside. Meiser getting the start at shortstop. Eric Ibar given a day off. Mike Scioscia said Eric Ibar at a stretch last year was playing as good as any shortstop in the game. But last night he had some mistakes made in the field. So he also said Meiser needed to get back at short. Ground ball, first base, Cabrera will take it. Bonine covers. Moving to 3rd, Jeff Mathis, 2 outs now. But Mike Scioscia always encouraging his players, because the one thing he said, you've got to think about making plays and not thinking about making mistakes. And Ibar is a play maker.
Yes, and he's also human. He's going to make some mistakes like everyone does. But dynamic player. No question about it. Sitting there with his buddy Big Daddy Blatty.
Uh-oh. Look at Daddy. He's getting after Darren Oliver. I think he's put some sunflower seeds in the top of his hat. Bobby Abreu will try and knock in that run from 3rd.
There's all kinds of little pranks that go in that dugout.
Come on, Big Daddy. Ain't you got nothing better to do?
Nope, not right now.
Darren's a good dude. Good guy. On the DL, and that is a shame because the Angels could use him in that pen. He's getting a little heavy on my head. John Lackey is providing the distraction for Vlad to drop the seeds on Darren Oliver's cap. Oh, that's Joe. Excuse me. I thought it was John. Joe Saunders. He is the decoy. He's the one to make sure he has the attention. So Darren is looking at him. There's a ground ball rolled to short. Adam Everett, quick toss. Safe, and a run scores. Angels lead 6-2.
Hitters know when they have a chance for a leg hit. And Leland is going to come out and argue that with first base umpire Jeff Kellogg. All right, very brief. He loses the argument, goes back, and the Angels get another run for Matt Palmer, making his Angel debut, looking very stellar. Okay, Everett comes in. Couldn't get a lot on the throw because he was off balance. And tie goes to the runner. Abreu lost his bat, but look at him dig it. He's becoming a runner now. Safe. He'll take the call.
So an RBI single for Bobby Abreu, his 7th run driven in this year. And here's Torrey Hunter, who gave the Angels the lead with a 5th inning home run, a long blast to right center field. How about this, Hud? The Angels have 9 hits in the game, and 5 of them have been infield hits. 3 this inning. Ground ball Inge. They get the force. Inning is over, but the Angels have some fun in the 6th, scoring 3 times.
He's been perfect with Matt Palmer. After a little discussion, says, hey, quit pushing it. You're leaving it up. Stay down. He went on out just like a great pupil does. And he retired 12 straight Detroit Tigers. And he now has a nice 6-2 lead and takes instructions well from his teacher.
Hud, since that conversation, he's retired 12 of 13 against one of the hottest offenses in the game. Detroit came in averaging 6 runs per game, and granted this one is not over yet, but through 6 Palmer has done an excellent job. He's facing Josh Anderson, Matt Trainer, Adam Everett. This is a guy he wants to go right after, doesn't want to fall behind. He has outstanding speed. Reached in an infield hit his first time up. Got that one on his hands. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Matt Palmer out of Memphis, Tennessee. Giants 31st round pick, 2002, out of Southwest Missouri State. Spent 7 years in the Giants organization, all in the minors except 3 starts in the big leagues. A tapper to third. Figgins comes a charging. Quick toss. High throw and error on Sean. And Anderson will go to second base.
That's exactly what speed does. Speed pressures defense. Figgins, instead of getting his feet underneath him, he was throwing on the run, and that release point's got to really be right, or it goes, it sails. He's sailing. Angels averaging 1 error a game lately.
So Mike Butcher will go out for a visit with Matt Palmer. Jeff Mathis will join him. The Angels with a 6-2 lead over Detroit. They've scored all 6 runs in the last 3 innings at Family Sundays. At the Big A this Sunday, we've got the Angels against the Mariners. Good pitching matchup. Former Angel Jared Washburn against Jared Weaver. A tremendous variety of free activities for the kids, like face painting. They'll have artists out there. Just use the password GLAD at the angelsbaseball.com website, and you'll have a lot of fun. Gerald Laird, or Jeff Larish, is now moving to home plate to pinch hit. Angels have their bullpen working. Jason Bolger is on the right. He's the right-hander. And Daniel Davidson is the lefty. Larish, good power. Ball 1. Oh man, you got to wear a helmet. That way you can escape those foul balls, because she's ready to make a catch.
That's a great idea.
Young man, excuse me. I stand corrected. Proper color though. 2 balls, no strikes. Looks like he's got a snake decal on the right cheek there.
Face painters are in the house.
And Cinderella has arrived with her Mickey Mouse Cinderella costume. Watch the game, honey. Outside, 3-0.
He hadn't had a 3-0 count now in 3 innings.
He's pitching from the stretch, and he hasn't been pitching from the stretch in a while. After retiring the side in the 3rd, 4th, 5th innings. 6th, he gave up a hit, and then got the final out. Guides that one in there. 3-1.
Stay right in there. Do all you can to get through this inning. Man, that is way beyond what they expected from him.
Jeff Larish does have some pop. Puts those hands tight to his chest. He's got a little bit of a Brady Anderson stance to him.
He's pretty stiff. Doesn't have any movement.
Walked him. So the first 2 Tigers reach here in the 7th inning. Mike Scioscia has the number 9 batter Adam Everett up, and he might be in a sacrifice situation. He's looking down at third base coach Gene Lamont. The Tigers trail by 4, but still 9 outs to go.
But the safe bet is a sacrifice bunt. Keeps him out of a double play. We'll see what they decide to do. Top of the order looming on deck.
and twice Everett has grounded out against Palmer tonight. He steps off, and Everett did not show bunt. Angels lead at 6-2. The American League West leading Seattle Mariners won tonight, 1-0 over Tampa Bay. Felix Hernandez with a gem over James Shields. And Seattle coming here tomorrow for a 3-game series. 1-0. Ichiro hit a home run in the first inning, the first batter that James Shields faced, and that was the only run of the game.
Wow. That was a heck of a pitcher's duel. And the Angels, again, fortunate they don't have to see King Felix tomorrow night or any of the 3 games.
And he's got to find the strike zone because the trouble's brewing, because you've got Granderson, who's been so hot in this series, waiting on deck, then Polanco, then Ordonez, then Cabrera. Daniel Davidson, the lefty.
Sometimes errors change the momentum of the game.
Everett swinging, and it's a 2-1 count. Three balls, 1 strike, and Jeff Mathis calls time, wants to settle his young man down. He's facing the number 9 batter, Adam Everett.
Well, you know, we talked about it in the open of our show tonight, Fizz, about how Palmer, in order to succeed tonight, was going to need his defense behind him and good relief pitching. And so far, Palmer has reached way over his expectations. Now, Figgy, you know, it was a physical error. You know, he's on a speedy runner, and I told you, credit that to speed more than Sean Figgin's physical error, but it seems like that changed the momentum now, and Palmer is going to have to get a visit from Socha. Might even be done.
He is done because Butcher's already been out. He'll get a good hand from the terrific crowd here at the Big A, but Mike Socha wants the lefty-lefty matchup with Davidson to face Granderson. Bases are loaded. Matt saying, he will lead with a 6-2 lead, but the 3 on base belong to him. Great ovation for young Matt Palmer. Davidson made his major league debut back on April 19th at Minnesota, and threw a shutout inning, and the first guy he faced, he broke his bat. Former American League MVP Justin Morneau of the Twins.
Yep, he looked pretty good. He has a little sinker. From that sidearm position, he'll sink the fastball, a little slider and a changeup.
Steps to the hill. Will face a very hot left-handed batter in Curtis Granderson. 2 for 3 in this game, 7 hits in the series, including 3 home runs. A big fly ties it. Ball 1. They lowered his arm angle in spring training, and he's able to really be very effective to left-handed batters. He's got to find that strike zone. 2 free passes already in the 7th. Outside, ball 2.
Yep, you know, the pressure's on a reliever when he comes in the game. You know, it's very important that he comes in there for strikes. And you fall behind like this, usually the advantage goes to the hitter, but the way the bullpen's been wild, not a good start.
Hit sharply as they gave him a green light on 2-0. The bases are full. You've got Josh Anderson at third, Larish at second, Everett at first, and Granderson at the plate. And the count is 2-1. Three and 1, and the Angels bullpen dead last in the American League. An 0-6 record, an 8.65 ERA. All 4 run scores, 3 straight walks. And Mike Scioscia will make a change because the right-handed Blanco Ordonez Cabrera coming up, so he's going to go with Jason Bolger. Infinity, luxury cars that inspire at every turn. Steve Physiok, Rex Hudler near the big hats at the Big A. The Angels with a 6-3 lead, but the Tigers have loaded the bases. The tying runs are on, and the Angels must get their bullpen to find success right here, right now. Jason Bolger out of that bullpen, a very high ERA, as Mike Scioscia is staying away from Scott Shields in this situation, or Jose Arredondo right now. Bolger threw a shutout inning last night.
He's going with the hot hand, no question about it.
Jason with a shutout 8th. Ground ball short, and it is past his turret into left field. 2 runs will score, and it makes it a 6-5 ball game. An error by Figgins started it, and this one got under the glove of Meiser in the 7th.
Scioscia would have liked to have seen Meiser just glove it and knock it down. He's a very fine fielder. Just couldn't quite get the glove down. It's through. Polanco gets a knock. Here come the Tigers.
A base hit, and the runs charged to Matt Palmer, who started this inning with a 6-2 lead. An error, a pair of walks, and then the bullpen gave up a walk, and now a base hit off Bolger by Polanco, and it is a tight game again at 6-5. Those free passes always seem to come around and score. Runners on first and second. Maglia Ordonez. Two balls, no strikes.
Bolger has a good overhand curveball he'll use as a strikeout pitch, but right now falling behind 2-0 with the two very solid hitters coming up, the 3 and 4 men for the Tigers. Not good with nobody out.
Out of play right side. And these are two great RBI guys for Detroit. And Ordonez and then Cabrera. Maglio drove in 103 runs for the Tigers last year, and Cabrera 127. So Bolger's got to go through the teeth of this Tiger lineup, and the Angels have faced 5, and they haven't gotten a man out in the 7th inning. In the 7th last night, they gave up 5 runs, and that was the ball game. 3-1. A patient man.
Yes, on the outside, and he does a good job. I mean, solid job of masking his emotions, but you know, he knows it's a long season. It's just going to take some time for somebody to step up, and he hopes it's now. They got a lead. That'll work.
Popped him up right side. Morales, foul territory. That's the first out. A big one it is.
Okay, steady as she goes here. Bolger wants to keep that ball down below the knees. Hope for a double play. Cabrera's only grounded into 1 this year. That's a good breaking ball there.
Cabrera is 1 for 3 in the game, Rex. He got that infield hit back in the first inning that scored Curtis Granderson from third base.
A lot of infield hits by both teams tonight.
Ground ball third. Figgins touches third, goes to first, gets the double play. Jason Bolger, nice job here in the 7th inning. And Matt Palmer's happy. that drove in 2, but the ball went under the glove of Meiser Asturias. But then Bolger came right back to get Ordonez a tough out on a pop up to first base, and then Miguel Cabrera, who knocked in 127 runs last year on a 5-3 double play. So here we go. Bottom 7, Kendry Morales, Juan Rivera, and Gary Matthews Jr. The new catcher, of course, is Gerald Laird.
Okay, obviously the offense understands that the more runs they can get, the closer they feel to a W here. Possibly take 2 out of 3 in this series.
Because the Tigers have had an unusually tough time in this ballpark. The Angels are 52-17 at the Big A versus Detroit since '96. That is whistled foul. This guy's put together some really good at bats. He's 2 for 3 today. Kendry Morales lining 2 base hits to left field, so now they're coming inside on Kendry. I guess it's working. That taking some swings in the hitting machine before the game to get his timing down has helped.
They hit every day. They hit in their sleep. It's unbelievable, these guys. It's almost like golf. You know, they got to go out and hit 2 or 3 buckets before they can go play around.
Low, 1 and 2.
It's all about repetition. This kid Eddie Bonine has got a good sinker going away. If you try to pull that pitch, you're going to get a lot of grounders out of that. But if he misses in, Morales is quick enough to turn on him.
A chopper to second base. Polanco will make the play. 1 out. Here's tonight's Land Rover extraordinary performance.
All right, let's see it. Bolger, how about that? Entices one of the best hitters in the American League to a ground ball to Figgy. Figgy tags the bag and throws him out and gets out of the inning to preserve the 1-run lead for that guy. Matt Palmer making his Angel debut. Land Rover, it's a beauty.
Sean Figgins, his defense led to a tough inning, but Jason Bolger got him out of it with some quality pitches to 2 tough hitters. And here's Juan Rivera. And right before Juan Rivera went to the on-deck circle, he had a long conversation with Mike Scioscia.
Well,
talking about maybe the approach against Eddie Bonine.
Maybe he's saying, wait back, shoot him the other way.
2 balls and no strikes. Bonine, good size at 6'5", 220. To the University of Nevada. Good, I guess, a sinker baller with that downward plane. It's really tough. Right-handed batter. In there. He was 12-4 as a starter last year, AAA, and 2-1 in 5 starts for Detroit last year. Morales 1 for 3, chops that one. Inge lets it go foul.
For a minute, Juan thought he had another infield hit. He bounced one off Inge earlier in the game.
The Angels have 5 infield hits in tonight's ball game.
That hits right off of that plate. Bounces very high, but Inge says, you know what, I have no chance to catch it. I'll let it go foul. Because they ain't going to throw him out either. Ball that high.
Inge guns him out. 2 outs.
Yep, he sawed him off. Jammed him. Hard sinker on his hands.
So Bonine has pitched well. He has retired 5 of the 6 that he's faced. And the one Bobby Abreu reached on an infield hit that did drive in a run. Gary Matthews is up. He has been on twice with a walk. The base is loaded that drove in a run and reached on the infield hit that started the trouble for Edwin Jackson in the 6th inning. The Angels scored 3 times in that inning. They scored in each of the last 3 innings, scoring 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 3 in the 6th. Detroit came back with 3 in their half of the 7th, and the Angels right now with 2 out, nobody on, bottom of the 7th. Bunt try that goes foul. A ball and 2 strikes. Gary Matthews Jr. Howie Kendrick is waiting on deck. Tigers with 5 runs on 7 hits and 3 errors. The Angels 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. And Matthews with a base hit to right field, his 2nd hit of the ball game.
Nice to see. Plus that walk, that makes him 2 for 3. Get that batting average going up with the confidence too. Nice job. Sinker baller like that, you got to find a hole on it.
So now Bonine will be from the stretch, and he has to face number 8 batter Howie Kendrick.
Okay, there's the knuckler. We told you he'll throw a hard one once in a while, but our Exmo camera that slows it down, super slow-mo, saw Matthews stay with it and guide it in the hole.
And it looked like it had a little bit of rotation, and that takes away from that tumbling effect. Kendrick reached on an error his last at bat. Angels with 2 outs might be aggressive with Matthews. They had a hit and run on. Obviously, it wouldn't be here with 2 outs. But Howie does have the ability to go the opposite field, and with Cabrera holding Matthews, there's a big hole between first and second base. (6-5). Angels have the lead. 7th inning. Down low. Kendrick, a terrific hitter, career .360 hitter in the minor leagues, but every single big leaguer, particularly when they're coming up from the lower levels, have a tough time getting in the groove. Runner goes, pitch swung on, hit towards right. Ordonez over, won't make the play. Matthews will have to be held at third. It's a double for Kendrick.
Nice piece of hitting and good hustling right there by Maglio to cut that ball off. They'd have scored a run. Good slice double. And that'll break that little skid that Howie's been in. Ball up, good inside out swing. Maglio lets that ball roll. Matthews gets it for sure, but he had to slow down a little. He wasn't sure if Maglio was going to make the play, but you could tell he was going to make it.
But Rex is 2 outs.
Right, he slowed down, made a middle mistake there.
Or that extra run would be mighty important. I'm not sure if Dino would have sent him. Or maybe he miscalculated the number of outs there were.
It happens.
So Dino holds him up. Angels with runners at second and third, and are hoping now that Jeff Mathis can come through. He reached on an infield hit his last time up. 2 balls and no strikes.
The Angels definitely need some insurance runs.
Because Jose Arredondo is not up in the pen. As a matter of fact, the bullpen's quiet. They're going to stay with Jason Bolger. And Rick Knapp out for a little confidence boost to Eddie Bonine, who got the first 2 outs. Then Matthews singled, Kendrick doubled. Brandon Lyon starts to warm in the Detroit Tigers bullpen. You've got Sean Figgins waiting on deck, a switch hitter. Then Meiser Turris, a switch hitter. So it's not about a righty-righty situation. But Bonine does not have the experience of a Brandon Lyon. Mathis 2-0. Takes 2-1.
Man, that's a good looking pitch to hit there.
Mariners and Angels go tomorrow. It'll be Eric Bedard for the Mariners against Shane Lukes. Outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. And Rich, you talk about this a lot. Even though first base is open, you've got to be in a hitting mode. You've got to be in a driving run mode.
Right. This is a big situation here. Let your eyes tell your hands where to go. There you go.
Ball 4. So he does take and load the bases for Sean Figgins. Leland has not made the move. He's staying with Bonine. Brandon Lyon continues to warm in that Tiger bullpen. The Angels have Matthews at third, Kendrick at second base, and now Jeff Mathis at first. They need a big hit from Sean Figgins, who is just 2 for 13 in this series. Strike 1.
Are you ready? He's not trying to get on base here now. He needs to knock some in. So you want to be a little bit more aggressive. Sometimes you got to come out of your approach a little. Look for something good. That first pitch, that pitcher wants to throw a strike. Mickey Hatcher, though, he prefers him taking one.
And Figgins is bunting, and Sean's going to beat it out, and the Angels score a run. They'll score 2.
Wow, never expected that. Neither did Bonine, the pitcher. As Cabrera came off at first base to field that ball, he knew that there was nobody at first, but he flipped it anyway to Bonine, who tried to beat Figgy. Wasn't going to happen. And by golly, Dino Ebel just kept sending Howie Kendrick on the play, so he scored right behind Matthews. Figgy out of nowhere, bases loaded bunch you rarely see in the game today, but man, what a smart play. Nobody expected that. You're not going to beat Sean Figgins to first. The flip went off the end of the glove. Howie Kendrick was on the move because of the eyes of third base coach Dino Ebel. Sending him home, staying aggressive. Big 2 runs there.
Not too many times a bunt drives in 2, and there's a base hit to right field. Mathis will score. Figgins to third. Cut off, and the Angels go up 9-5.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Angels, and give that bullpen a little bit more room to breathe in here for the next 2 innings.
It all happened with 2 outs. Rex Bonine got the first 2 Angels out, then single, double, walk, bunt, single, drives in 2. Now Meiser is Turris with a liner to right to knock in 1.
What a nice stroke by Meiser, but also Figgins, man, that was a shocker.
Eddie Bonine out. Brandon Lyon in. We'll be right back. Bunt single by Sean Figgins, drives in a run. Another comes home. They've ruled the second one scored on the air by the first baseman. But still, the Angels have scored 3 times in the bottom of the 7th inning.
But really, Howie Kendrick, he never stopped at third base. He just kept on coming home, and he was going to make the play close regardless of the flip to first base. So technically, Figgins, with a bases loaded bunt, could have had 2 RBIs on that. That's amazing.
Tigers with 4 errors in this ball game. The Angels, Rex, have enjoyed 6 infield hits, 1 bunt single, and 5 infield hits. I don't remember a time I've seen a major league game with that many infield hits. Well, now I've seen them in Little League and Pony.
That's right. Well, just wait for tomorrow. We might see something tomorrow we've never seen before. It's just the grand game is outstanding. With any kind of action, you can't predict it.
Abreu swings and lines a base hit to right. One more comes home. Figgins scores the 10th Angel run.
Wow, what an inning, all with 2 outs. Fans like it. Says, all right, you know what? We have a bullpen that's been a little bit shaky lately, but you just give him some runs now and give him a little bit of support, see if they can hold that. Good stroke, nice and easy. Polanco has hops, but not that high. Can't get up and catch that. Abreu, again, coming through in the clutch with a nice 2-out knock. Back-to-back singles for Bobby.
And a little cushion for Matt Palmer, who's in line to get the win if the Angels hold on. Back-to-back games where the Angels have scored 10 runs. Torrey Hunter up. A swing and a miss, and he was trying to hit it a mile.
Big breaking ball there by Lyon. It's pulled off of the hair. That's a big curveball. Fastball curve. 2 pitches by Lyon.
Hunter knocked one out back in the 5th inning, breaking a 2-2 tie. The Angels pushed it to 6-2. Tigers roared back to make it 6-5, but the Angels with 4 in the 7th. In there. And all these, everything happened with 2 out. They had nobody on, 2 out. A single by Matthews, a double by Kendrick, a walk to Mathis to load the bases, and Sean Figgins surprised everyone with a bunt single. So Howie Kendrick feeling pretty good about his double. Torres Abreu follow with singles. Inside. 1-2.
And the Angels, they're still not done. They could do some more damage.
Shortstop Everett. Force at 2nd inning over, but the Angels with 2 outs score 4 times, and they open up a 10-5 lead. back at third base. Infield stays the same for Jason. Bolger did a really nice job to get the outs in the 7th inning with some big sluggers up.
Okay, Bolger gaining some confidence, and so is Socia by leaving him in. Saying, man, I'm going with a hot thing. Let's keep him in there.
In there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. You've got Guillen, Inge, and Anderson. And then if he can get those guys, you've got the 8-9 guys to open the 9th inning, because Mike Socia would love for Brian Fuentes to stay away from Ordonez, Cabrera, and Guillen. Any closer would like to stay away from those guys as a strike is called. It's 1 and 2.
You know, make sure to keep throwing strikes there like Bolger, though. Don't give these Tigers any room to have some momentum to come back. Don't give them any life.
Jason has good stuff, great stuff last year at Salt Lake. And that is an offensive lead. And he had an 0.63 ERA. Great curveball. He struck him out.
Okay, big breaking ball by Bolger. This is his strikeout pitch. And Exmo, you see that little dot? Sometimes the hitter can see that. And it broke under his bat. Nice piece of pitching here to lead this off here. Shut them down. After your team scores a bunch, you don't want them to gain any momentum.
He rips the fastball by Brandon Inge, strike 1. Inge with a home run back in the 2nd. Grounded out in the 4th and flied out to center field in the 6th. In there.
You see the confidence now in Bolger. Do that in the last inning now, and so he had to sit in the dugout through that long inning. And comes back out. It's the first hitter, and now he's 0-2 again. It's good momentum he's keeping.
This is the pitcher that Eric Bennett, who is the Pacific Coast League pitching coach for Salt Lake, saw last year. I mean, this guy had an amazing year with 75 strikeouts in just 43 innings.
Yeah, no, that's one heck of a year, but you got to transform that for major league action. But you can't get here unless you do that.
Well, maybe this will be a step, because he has really made Guillen and Inge look bad on those hooks. Hey, fans, come out to the Big A this Saturday for Mike Socia's Howard Superstore's Youth Baseball Clinic. Registration begins at 8:30 in the morning, with the clinic taking place between 10 a.m. and noon. The clinic is free and open to the public, with a focus between ages 5 through 14. For more information, visit angelsbaseball.com. 2 outs, nobody on. Josh Anderson, the batter. Ground ball first. Morales has it. Bolger, 2 shutout innings. He's done a terrific job. The Angels lead it 10-5.
one, but two on the bobble by the first baseman. What? Shocked the house.
Check out the new R Performance vehicles at your local Jaguar dealer or on JaguarUSA.com. Sean Figgins, an amazing bunt. Ron Renicky, bench coach, I'm sure very proud of that decision because the pitcher, the first baseman, so surprised they had no chance to get Speedy Sean and 2 runs scored. Here is Brandon Lyon. The Angels with 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and 4 in the 7th. Up the middle, Polanco backhands, throws out Kendry Morales. Morales 2 for 5 tonight. Rex, you love to talk about these moments in major league games because a guy who's had just a cup of coffee in the big leagues in the past, 30 years old, 7 years in the minor leagues, really looked like a tough situation because Edwin Jackson, 2.14 ERA in his first 3 starts this year, going up against Matt Palmer in his 4th major league start. Palmer outpitches him, gives the Angels a chance to win. And they are 3 outs away with a 5-run lead.
It's a strange game. And I don't know how many times you hear that, but that's the truth. Baseball, man, anything can happen. All we can do is give you the numbers before, what they've been doing, but none of us can predict what's going to happen and who will be the hero of the game. You can make your predictions, but never know. What a game. Angels scoring 10 runs. That gives the fans free wings. Claim jumper. Hang with them. That's a lot of wings. With 14 hits, they had 16 last night. That was a season high. So their offense, man, I'll tell you, these 3 games, their offense, Mickey Hatcher's got to be proud of their approach.
Everett picks it. High throw. And Rivera almost knocks him down. And Juan is down and hurt. Angels trainer Ned Burgett comes running out with manager Mike Scioscia. Not sure if they knocked knees. Cabrera took a little bit of the run to the blow, and Rivera is coming out of the game with Mike. The Angels already have 7 players on the disabled list. Okay, now Juan's trying to get another infield hit here. Now, whenever you see the first baseman in your way like that, you know, you hope he's all right, but you know you can't slow down like that. You got to go right through the first baseman, man, because you know what? Someone's going to get hurt. I mean, you don't want it to be you. You have the momentum. If the guy's in your path, you have the straight line through the base. You put your bumper up and you knock the guy into right field, and that way you stay healthy. You can't avoid a tag or try to alter your run at the base. Too many things can happen to your body. 2.5 years ago, Juan Rivera broke his leg in a similar play down in Venezuela, and it cost him the entire 2007 season.
Tough chance there.
The Angels with 7 players already on the DL, 6 pitchers. Of course, their great slugger Vladimir Guerrero out for at least a month. Then Lackey, Santana, Escobar, Mosley, Darren Oliver, Kevin Jepson, all in the DL. So they're going to have to grind through to stay in this American League West race. Seattle won again today, 1-0 over Tampa Bay. Felix Hernandez got the win over James Shields, and Ichiro, a home run in the first, carried them to the win. Seattle coming to town tomorrow.
Okay, now by the looks of that shot there, Juan's okay. They pat him on the back. He's getting no extra treatment, no extra attention by the trainer, but could, because potentially those things are dangerous. Just ow!
Well, it's foul, but he struck it well. Got your attention.
I'll say. Junior swinging a hot bat. He's starting to come around as all the Halos Angels are. The hitters are hacking.
Gary's been on 3 times, flied out his first time up, but hit it sharply, walked it with the bases loaded to drive in a run, and base hits, singles his last 2 times up. Scored a couple of runs. Juan Rivera out at first base. We'll see if he stays in the game. The Angels make a move in that outfield, and Matthews swings and misses. Down he goes. Nate Robertson could be the new pitcher for Detroit. Largest selection of authentic team gear, including clubhouse caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your gear straight from the source. Visit theangelsbaseball.com shop today. Justin Spire coming out of that Angels bullpen. Jason Bolger did a terrific job in innings 7 and 8 to hold the lead at 6-5. Then the Angels added on. And now Justin trying to keep things quiet for Detroit. He will face hitters 8, 9, and 1. Well, when the Angels get the lead, everybody has a little more affection towards others.
Right, you know, that was heartfelt, but this wasn't. Look at how stiff that was. That's our partners, Gooby and Terry Smith. Man, where's the love in the booth over there? Wow, that was a
I thought we witnessed it right there.
Well, if you could read body language like I can, that was stiff and really not warranted. It was so forced because they were on the kiss cam. Where's the heartfelt hug, Fizz?
So you want it straight from the heart, not just the thought.
Right. It's, you know what? You know, they just kind of. Okay. Well, that was good. It was for show.
Well, with you, every time you hug somebody, you pick them off the ground.
Can't help it.
Here we go, 9th inning.
Especially if Spire can just hold on here, man. Let's get this bullpen turned around. Mark Bolger. He's been the man that's hot tonight.
So if Spire goes 1, 2, 3, I get a hug?
That's right.
All right.
You might even get one after this batter here if you're not careful.
I'll be careful. In the air, right side, Bobby Abreu. A hug for you. 1 out.
That calls for a hug, man. A heartfelt
This
hug.
is a hug.
That's beautiful.
I can't breathe.
How are you, man? Let's go. Now that's a hug. Now I'm going to take my. Got to show my tie that's not even working right, guys. All right, sorry. Got carried away. Sorry about that. I think we should give a big hug to Mark Bolger in the pen. Spire got him an out. This looks good too, right here. Staying on it.
I tell people, Rex, you do something every single broadcast that no other broadcaster would do.
But I wouldn't bunt with the bases loaded like Sean Figgins did.
Big play, and here's Sean. And Figgy's throw in time, 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Nice.
Hey, fans, come out and meet Angels closer Brian Fuentes at the AT&T store located at 125 South Main Street in the city of Orange on Saturday, April 25th. Brian will be signing autographs from 11:30 in the morning to 1 p.m. So stop by to meet Brian and pick up some cool Angels prizes, all courtesy of AT&T. Tigers down to their last man, and that would be Curtis Granderson.
Spire to prevent the fire. Like it. Good job. Sinking, slider, and a little split finger. Let's see if it comes here. Ooh, sneaky. Trying to catch that corner.
So the bullpen doing a good job. Jason Bolger gave up a base hit with the bases loaded, nobody out, that actually skipped under the glove of Meiser Turris. Granderson with a fly ball to center field that Matthews has. Makes the catch. Light up the halo. The Angels beat Detroit and take the series 2 victories to 1. Justin Spire with a 1-2-3 ninth inning. And Sean Figgins with a inspiring bunt single with the bases loaded. That
was a shot.